listening to Just Bring It, the Nerd Podcast.
Welcome to another Just Bring It podcast. Today we have a wrestling guest. Again, is a special guest from Europe, a special guest that you have seen on television, that perhaps you have seen on live shows in Europe. She's just at the beginning of her 20s. She is just around 5 years in wrestling, but she also had over 300 matches. She has been to Europe, to Japan. She has been with Big League, and she has held and is holding up to 11 titles. Let's introduce our today's guest. Here is for you, Millie McKenzie. Millie, great to have you here.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Millie, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine as well. I heard you had some, let's not call it fun, but you had watched some of the Queen's funeral shows today.
Yes. Yeah, it was nice to watch it. It was good. Not as good as a funeral can be.
It's just big. It's just a royal funeral is nearly as big as a. Oh, no, I think this is bigger than a royal wedding.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah, it's big. Big.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All the time the people spend with a funeral, but it's a person that a lot of people, us too as well, had seen for their whole life on this place.
Yeah. She was around for a long time, so it'd be different now.
Yeah, 95 years old, 70 years in her job. A really long time. But we don't want to talk about someone being 95 years old. We want to talk about someone, if I looked it right up, who's 22 years old.
Yes, I am.
That's right. Okay. Not the right time. Let's talk about your wrestling time. Do you remember what your first match in wrestling was?
Yes, it was in October on my mum's birthday against TJ Sky at the place I trained at called Phoenix Pro Wrestling.
On your mom's birthday, was she with you during the match?
Yes, my mum and dad were watching me in the crowd, cheering me on, dragged them along.
That's cool. Have you celebrated her birthday there at the show?
Yeah, and then we went and got food after to keep her happy. So
Really cool, really cool. How did the idea start that you wanted to become a wrestler?
well, I've always been sporty, and I used to run and play football, and I think I was just looking for that next sport that I wanted to do. And I turned on the telly one day. I didn't even know what wrestling was, and it was on, and I started watching it and got into the actual wrestling then, and then all of a sudden I was going to the live shows. I still didn't think wrestling existed in the UK. I thought it was only WWE. So when I started researching it and I found there was like an independent scene, I thought, Mom, I'm sorry, I've got to start this. So I convinced her, and then after Christmas and the New Year I started, and that was it.
Fast start into your new career. Have you ever considered to make a professional career in football as well before?
Well, the team was quite good. Like our school team, we were like undefeated for like 5 years. But I think I don't know. I get bored of things. I'm like, I don't know. It was fun, but I never really saw it as a career.
Yeah, don't do anything that bores you for a long time. That's not the best way to go with this.
Yeah.
So you started in your home place. How long did it last until you started traveling all around Europe?
So I think I was around that. I trained just at Phoenix for about 6 months. And then one of the lads that trained there was on about training in Dudley, which is like, it's only like an hour from me, but at the time that was quite a long way to go for like a hobby when I was so young. And I started training for there, and then when I started training there, my shows started to pick up out elsewhere. So still just around the UK, but I started to travel around there more.
But you started with just 17, I guess, or earlier?
I was 14 when I started.
14. Oh, a lot earlier. 14 was the first training. Okay, so I understand that you can't travel that far away. at this point.
Yeah, that was the thing because I was so young. It wasn't normal to. Obviously, I didn't drive. I couldn't drive, so
Yeah.
it was the train everywhere and relying on people taking me, which was nice of them. So
Yeah, I can understand this. Did you travel? Did you leave the whole English circle after being 18 or later, or just before?
I think I went to Portugal
Mhm.
when I can't remember whether I was just turned 18 or it was just before. Um, but yeah, I did an away trip. I think I was still 17 then, and then I went to Japan for the first time just after I turned 18. Um, so yeah,
How did you get to Japan that early?
just I don't know. I was lucky really. Obviously, Miko, um, who runs Sendai, she did some shows for Fight Club Pro, and that's where I trained.
Mhm.
And she was impressed with me and asked if I'd want to come to Japan. And obviously, I can't really turn down an offer like that from Miko. So yeah, I went over, and it's one of the best places I've ever been.
Yeah. Do you want to go back there again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Hopefully, there's things happening, so hopefully I'll be back over there soon.
Is there anything that you can already see at the horizon to go back there?
There might be around November time, so we'll see, we'll see.
Ah,
No, I'm not making any promises yet, but hopefully it all works out.
I can totally understand this. Where would you like to go to Japan? To which promotion? What would be
I
your wish?
I think my home will always be at Sendai
Mhm.
because that's obviously where like Miko is. But then I don't know. There's a few other promotions. Obviously, Sendai's my home over there, but there's Tokyo Joshi Pro, so
Mhm.
we'll see. As I said, we'll see. Don't
Well,
want to give too much away.
I, I can totally understand. You can't tell us something that's not fixed at the moment,
Yeah,
so we can just talk about what is
yeah,
possible, what is possibly possible.
yes.
Let's say it this way.
Might happen, maybe somehow.
Michael and you met a lot, more often, not just at your place in Japan. You met later, I guess, again.
Yeah, yes, everywhere.
You also, if I remember it right, you also met at the WXW Femme Fatale tournament.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun. It was a good weekend. That was. She was there.
We just talked about it a little bit before. It's already 4 years in the past.
That's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
That is ridiculous. I
Yeah,
can't believe it. I can't believe that. It feels like it was yesterday, let alone 4 years ago.
yeah.
I'm getting old now. God.
I'm just 22 and talking about something like this.
I know.
I'm, I went 40 this year. You have some more years. But how is it to face someone like Maiko Satomura?
It's incredible. Obviously it's someone I look up to. So every single time I get in the ring with her, it's I'm so lucky. It's incredible to learn to be able to be in there and learn from someone and wrestle someone that you look up to. But not only that, like now I know her as a friend and outside the ring, she's
Mm.
an incredible person, and I feel so privileged to be able to get in the ring with her and
Yeah, I
beat
can understand.
her.
I hope to see you two in the ring again.
Yeah,
I guess I've seen you in 2018 live at the show, and I've seen you later with her in another place again. We'll talk about this later.
yeah.
Let's just have a small chat about the time with WXW. How was it for you to work with WXW, and how did you get there to WXW?
Um, I can't. I think they just emailed me one
Hmm?
day. But yeah, I had some great matches. Um, that I really enjoyed there, and I think it was different for me because it was my first kind of regular abroad booking.
Hmm.
Um, and I got to see a few things um around Germany, so that was good. But yeah, it was my first regular booking thing, so it was just
Hmm.
I don't know, it was good. I'll always have good memories from there.
You faced a lot of interesting persons there. You faced Killer Kelly, for example, who is now with
Yes.
Impact.
Oh, she's nice. Yeah, I did. I did. That was I always enjoy wrestling her, so it was good, and especially to do it in Germany. So
Yeah. And you face all of the great names in Germany. You face Alpha Female. That's a
Yeah.
lot of difference between you and her.
Yes. She beat me every single time, I think.
I guess she beats everyone like this if she gets
Yeah.
into it.
If you're going to lose to anyone, I'll just tap out instantly. So fair play. I've already lost this one.
uh, I, if this was real life, I would be really afraid of Alpha Female, of Jessica Rabbit. But I know she's a nice person as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
But if she would be like she is in the ring, uh,
Be
perhaps
scared.
yes, of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Who else did you face? You faced Melanie Gray.
Yes, I did. That was fun as well. And she's lovely. I haven't seen her in ages.
Yeah, she's out of action since a long time now because of an injury, of a knee injury. But perhaps you can see her again in the future.
Yes, hopefully. I'm sure I will.
The whole time I hope to see you on Femme Fatale this year. Before the wrestlers were announced, I hoped, perhaps we can see Millie McKenzie again here. It would have been great.
Yeah, well, maybe there's always next year, isn't there?
Yeah,
So,
perhaps. You also faced Chris Wolf. I guess hasn't she retired since
yeah,
then?
she's retired now.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was. Anyone that's been around Chris knows how much of a lovely person she is. She's lovely. She's such a burst of happiness and energy. She's brilliant.
A lot of energy, a little bit crazy, but always lovely.
Yes, I wish I had some of her energy.
Yeah. I heard this more than one time that she's described in this way. A lot of energy, a lot of power. Do you want to come back to Germany to work in here again? At WXW, for example?
I'm champion of Pro Wrestling Cult, and I am back over in Germany on October 8th, I think. Yeah, so that's booked in, so that's exciting. Not too long. That's only like 2 weeks away now, isn't it? 2-3 weeks.
Yes, it's not that long. It's 1 week after the Femme Fatale, I guess.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yes, you are back at Wrestling Code. Let's have a look at Wrestling Code because you are the champion in there. I just have to look up where it is. The Woman of Code champion. And you got the title from Amal. And Amal is also back at WXW at the moment.
Yes.
How is it to work with Amal? You not just worked with her in Germany, you two met as well at NXT UK, I guess.
Yeah, Amal's great. I really enjoy wrestling her. And obviously at NXT UK, it's kind of, because you're with these people all the time, it almost does become a little family as such. So yeah.
So let's talk about NXT UK a little bit. How different is it to work in NXT UK than to work in Europe? In normal Europe?
It's different to any other show because it's so professional and so set up. It's not just about the day. Like other times, the shows on I just worry about the day, like getting there. But with NXT UK, everything's, it's a bit more of a stressful process. You've got your hair done, your makeup done, you've got to be tanned. You've got to think about the match. You've got to think about camera angles and stuff. So there's a lot more to think about and a lot more to worry about, I think. And obviously, there's more pressure because there's more people watching and things. But it's just a different experience, really. It's still fun, but yeah, it's a bit more stressful and daunting.
Yes, you are just on television in any places with NXT UK.
Only BT Sport every Thursday or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's totally different to being on it's just called a small show somewhere in Europe, because there's so much more to think about, like you already told us.
Yeah.
Did NXT UK work out like you had on your mind coming there?
I think I'm very I don't know, with my life I like to just see what happens. I'm not very driven by goals and saying like, oh, I need to be here at this point. I need to do this. I'm more just say, as long as I have fun, I'll just see where I end up. And I'm very motivated by just being happy and things. So I think I never went there with a career goal in mind. I think I went there wanting to enjoy it, and I did. So I was happy with how I did there.
That's great that you are just happy with the opportunity to work there. It's something really great. If you talk to some guys that are a little bit depressed that they are not there anymore, but just to see, like you tell us, the opportunity being there, working there, it's great. That's great.
Yeah.
To hear this.
I met some of my best friends there, and the times we had there, it was one of the best years in my life. We all loved it, and it was great. It was like going on a school trip for 2 weeks with your friends, and it's sad that that element of it's gone, but I'm sure there'll be other opportunities down the line for everyone.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Who are your narrow friends that you met there?
Oh, yes. So there's B, previously, and Leah James, Jack Stars, Joe Connors. Oh, everyone. Well, there's so many. I'm friends with everyone there. Well, not everyone, but most people.
That's a little family doing some wrestling shows. And you met Meiko Satomura again. You were in a NXT UK Women's title match in a 4-way, I guess it was. Or 5-way? Just have to look it up. 5-way already. With Danny Luna, with Isla Dawn, with Ginny, and with Meiko.
The gauntlet thing.
Yes, the gauntlet, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
How is it to work a gauntlet match?
I don't know. It's all right. It's all right. I don't know. It's nice to mix things up and do things different. It's a nice change. Switches things up a bit. But yeah, it was fun. I think the people in that match obviously they were all good. It was like a fun match. So yeah, it was fun to be a part of.
And you have been, of course, in the first NXT UK Women's Title Tournament. You have been as well. You worked with Ginny in there.
Yeah, that was ages ago.
Yes, it was. That was also in 2018.
Yeah.
Like Femme Fatale, the same year.
Yeah.
But I guess it was before. I don't really know when Femme Fatale was this year. In August was the tournament match. Perhaps it was before.
Yeah.
And I see you had in July a dark match at NXT UK with Skilla Kelly. So you met 2 times in a row in 2 different locations. Yeah. Do you remember what was your favorite match at NXT UK? Was there any special one for you?
I've never actually thought about that. I did enjoy all my matches there. I had loads with Isla Dawn, and I think she's one of my friends there, so I think it was always nice working with her. And it kind of became a bit of a joke that we always knew we'd be wrestling each other. I think we had like 6 matches there, and I know that's not a lot, but when you think of like how often we're there and all the girls there, you work one person 6 times, and I haven't worked anyone else. So it was funny. But yeah, everyone, Nina Samuels, I enjoyed my match with her. But all of them, the tag match with Miko, I think they'll always have a special place in my heart. But yeah, I enjoyed them all.
Is Miko still a friend or some kind of family for you?
Yeah, Miko's, she's one of my close friends. I talk to her all the time. Yeah, and hopefully I'll get to see her in Japan again soon.
Yeah. Like you talk about her, it seems like she's not just a friend, but some kind of family for you.
Yeah, she is. I think she's definitely a mentor, and she keeps me in my place and makes sure I don't get into trouble. She looks after me. So yeah, she's definitely got that. I'm going to say care of it. It's not a care of it. A mentor vibes.
That's really cool to have someone from your own profession that's so close.
Yeah. No, it's lovely to have your friends looking out for you.
Yeah, of course. And during the time with NXT UK, you have also been with Progress, and I guess you have seen Progress from 2 different sides. You have seen them from the side in the time before we had the whole speaking out. That was really hard, but really, I think it was a good time for European wrestling to have this, to clear things up. But how did it change from the time before and the time after? Is it different after all of this?
Um, I think obviously the people there changed, but I think it changed for the better. Obviously, I think when the shows first started coming back, there was people were nervous because obviously so much had happened, and you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a few years, and now all this has happened, and people were friends with people, and they feel guilty, and
Mm.
I think people didn't really know how to handle the situation, but it was lovely. Like it was lovely to see everyone. There was a good atmosphere backstage, and it was nice to see that the people that were causing problems had gone, and it was just nice people around, and
Mm.
I really enjoyed wrestling back at Progress. And yeah, as I said, when I went back, there was no audience there. It was still like COVID
Oh.
shows, but still the backstage atmosphere was nice, and I think that's such a big part of it. It's not just the show and the match; it's everything else is now improved. So
Mm. That's great. It's good that it's bad that this had to happen, and it wasn't always a good atmosphere all around. It's not just Progress; it's the whole wrestling atmosphere that had to change. But it's
yeah,
good that it had changed.
yeah,
That's the important
you know,
one.
for the better. So
Yeah, yeah, of course. That's really important. We had some bad times in wrestling. I hope it will be better for everyone who's in
yes,
there.
sure it will.
Did you met some new talents that you would tell us they are special, that we should look for them? Someone that you didn't know before.
Oh, hmm. I think obviously coming back to the scene, I'm still kind of there's so many new people and so many
Mm.
incredible wrestlers that everyone the whole level has jumped up. I think for me, I mean, I know him. Obviously, I've trained with him all my life. But Amari,
Mm.
and he like retired from wrestling, but he's come back now,
Mhm.
and he's currently a OTT champion, and
Ah.
he's incredible. He's the best wrestler I've ever watched in my entire life. I love wrestling him. I'm so lucky I got to train with him, and he's just a great person. And I would always say when people ask me to recommend people say Amari. You can't be disappointed with him. He can do anything, and he
Mhm.
does it so easily. It's annoying. He can do anything, and anything he does, he's the best at. Any sport. It's annoying, but he's so good.
But it's really good if you have someone like this person who's either he's just simply good in what he's doing.
Yeah, and anything. He's it's annoying.
But still grounded from his mind,
Yeah,
not
he's
ah,
lovely. He's one of my best friends.
yeah,
He's lovely. He still trains all the time. Just
that's
he's
good.
great. Someone as good as him could be so big headed, but he's not. So
Mhm. Let's have a look on who you faced in the last years in Progress. Of course, Tony Storm, I guess you two met more than one time, not just in
yeah,
Progress.
yeah. No, I love wrestling Tony. She's brilliant, and she was someone I looked up to when I first got into um, the independent wrestling scene.
Mhm.
So it's always fun to be able to get in the ring with her.
Mhm. She's with AEW now. Another
Yeah,
interesting place, perhaps for you as well.
yeah, maybe down the line.
Yeah. The, the good thing for you is you are just 22 years old. You have so much time to visit different places, to see something new, to wrestle for different companies. At the moment, it's a
Yeah,
great time for someone as young as you in wrestling.
yeah, I'm excited to see what's ahead before I get too old.
But when is a wrestler too old? What do you think?
I don't know. I feel old now, but I don't know. I think you know in your mind when you're
Mm,
can't. It's different for everyone. I can't say an age because um, it's how you feel and how your
yeah.
body is. So I guess it depends on how well you look after yourself.
And how hard your kind of wrestling style is, I guess, as well.
Yeah, yeah. So if you look after yourself, I guess you can go for longer.
Do you think about this always, looking after yourself?
No,
Of
not at all. I
course,
say
you're
this.
just 22.
Yeah, looking after yourself. I'll be retired next year because I'm crippled. But no, I think just I need to get into like stretching more and things because everyone always says, "Oh, when you're young, you're all right," but when everyone gets older, then the aches and pains start kicking in.
Yeah.
I dread to think, so I need to start looking after myself now.
Yeah, so you have a lot more time in wrestling if you try to look for yourself now. It would be
Yeah.
better for the future.
Yes, it would.
And we would prefer to see more of you in the future.
Thank you. Well, I'll try and look after myself then.
That's good. That's good. Who did you also face? You faced Lana Austin. Lana Austin is one of the, how to tell it, one of the persons that I always connect to British wrestling.
Yeah. No, she's brilliant. She's really fun to wrestle. I always enjoy wrestling her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope I get to wrestle her again soon. Now I'm back on the independent scene. I really hope that I get to wrestle these people again.
And then you face Kenji. Kenji is someone who I didn't knew before. How is Kenji and how is it to wrestle with her?
Yeah, I think she's incredible. I think she's going to go very far. I mean, she's already one of the top, but I think she's definitely one to watch. And I wrestled her when Progress were doing their no fan shows. I had one of my favourite matches with her. I think we were the main event. I think we were. So yeah, that's one of my favourite matches. Yeah, she's really fun to wrestle.
Cool. Yeah, now you're back to the independent circuit. Let's look what you did this year already. Let's start off where do we start after NXT UK? You were with Eve again against the Seniors.
Yeah.
Was it a homecoming to Eve for you?
Well, I did the Eve dart matches while I was with NXT UK. So it was nice to be able to go back on the stream, and especially to be wrestling Nina Samuels because obviously we've both in similar positions, and I always love wrestling her. So it was a fun one.
Yeah. Then you had been back to WrestleCold in June and faced Calypso. Calypso has been with us in the last Quizschlacht. How about facing Calypso? How was it to work with another young wrestler?
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I always enjoy wrestling for Cool. I think it's a good promotion, and obviously I hadn't defended the championship in so long, so it was nice to be able to come back and defend it against someone almost like me when I was younger. So I always enjoy wrestling people because I see myself in them. So
And is she that much younger than you?
I don't know how old. I think she's.
I don't know as well. I
Not
asked her a
sure.
lot of questions in the last days, but not how old she is. If you look for the cage match database, she's also 22 years old.
Oh, is she?
Perhaps you are the same age, but you are a lot time longer in wrestling.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know how long she is in wrestling, but she is not that we haven't seen her that much.
Yeah.
Perhaps she's longer in wrestling than we believe.
Yeah.
But she's a nice person like you as well. So
Oh, thank you.
some familiar things. And you faced Sarah Leon in Spain. She was with WXW for some time as well.
Yes. Yeah, she's again. I always love wrestling her. She's brilliant. Like it's just the technical wrestling, and getting to do it in Spain is always nice. Nice weather, nice sunshine.
It's different than in other places in Europe. A lot better weather.
Yeah, anywhere's better than the UK weather, I think.
Yeah, you have more rain than the other guys around.
Yes.
But it's better for your nature. You can tell
Yeah.
this or this way.
I'd rather have the sun.
You could have come to Germany with our weeks with 38 degrees and sun. It's too much for me, but if you like it,
yeah,
you could have get it here.
Yes, I'll have to come over next time.
Yes, of course. Tell me a little bit about Elevation. I don't know Elevation.
It's a company. I think they do shows all round the Midlands, but it's based in Leicester, and Yeah, it's my friend's promotion. And he was like, "Oh, would you like to come and wrestle on my show?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course I would." And he said, "Oh, we've got a three-way match. I want to add you to that. All the girls are good, and I think it'd be a good match with you in." So yeah, it's a nice little family show. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
How, you tell me it's a family show. How great was the audience of this show? What do you think?
Yeah, no, it was, as I said, it's obviously the different kind of shows in this, like the adult nightclub kind of crowd, the Saturday and Friday
Ah, okay.
night. But then this was a Sunday afternoon show, so it's families, children,
Ah,
and I think
okay.
you have to cater your wrestling to the children. Um, and obviously, as I said, it's not that indie; it's more family show, so it's fun to do.
But that's nice as well. It's such
Yeah,
more like having some fun at home with some friends
yeah,
and giving fun to the other guys that are there.
yeah.
It's nice as
No,
well.
it's always fun. I always like doing family shows. It just breaks it up. You don't need to go out and do 400 German and chop things. You can just
Yeah.
cheer and
Yeah.
smile and get of it. So
Just have some fun and have a good
yeah,
time. And you have been at the GCW Liverpool show.
yes, that show was incredible. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. If you like death
Not
matches,
now. Huh?
yeah. But the whole show was incredible. It felt like it did before. That was the first show I did. I think because Eve's brilliant,
Mhm.
but because I'd kept going throughout NXT UK. Obviously, it was great to be back, but I never really left. But to do a different show that I hadn't done before, it really did feel like I was 18 again, back
Yes.
all those years ago.
And it was a show with really interesting wrestlers on the card. Jordan Oliver was there with Blake Christian in one match. Really interesting guys as well.
They were on before me on the Friday,
Mhm.
and the crowd going insane. I was thinking, there's no point me wrestling now. I said I would just sit here and cry because I'm never gonna beat that.
But you had your match, and I guess the fans always loved your match.
Yes, no, it was brilliant. I got a good reaction. It was lovely to hear everyone when you first walked through that curtain, because I'm always going, oh, are they going to like it or not? But they did, so that was good. It's very rewarding to hear a proper crowd again.
Are you still always nervous getting to a new crowd that you don't know?
Yeah, I'm not. I do get really nervous, but there was a stage where I'd be like dying before a match, like I'm feeling sick, sat there like backstage now because I promised myself not to stress as much and enjoy it.
Hmm.
I'm more relaxed. Obviously, I still get nervous because I want to make it good enough. I don't want to mess up and let anyone down. So yeah,
Being nervous is not a bad thing because you get
yeah,
more focused when you're a little bit
yeah,
nervous.
yeah, and more adrenaline.
Yes,
So,
that's something good in there. What was your favorite match on the evening just from watching it?
hmm. Um, I'd have to say the Jordan Oliver match on
Mhm.
before me. It was incredible.
Mhm.
As I said, if you haven't watched that show, go and watch the show
Yeah.
because it was brilliant. Every match was just incredible.
Jordan Oliver is someone that some years ago I didn't know. I just recognized him with, I guess it was MLW. I'm
Yeah,
not wrong. And he was so special in these
yeah.
shows.
That's the thing. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Makes
Really.
everything look easy. Yeah. Christ, that stage, I'm thinking, oh no.
So some months ago, I talked to The Rotation about his trip to US, and he also told me the same about Jordan Oliver, like you do. That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
Some people are just so talented, and I'm not.
I don't think that we can be the same on the same page here. I think you are talented as well, and you
Oh,
make
thank
really
you.
great matches as well.
Thank
And
you.
if you don't, the people won't hire you for such shows,
Just be doing something right.
of course. And
Thanks.
you're not just a good wrestler, you're a nice person as well, and that's something
Thank you.
that you don't have anywhere in wrestling. Not all
Yeah,
are nice.
yeah, that's
It's just
true.
like this. I guess you have also met some of the not that nice persons in men and women, I guess. But we all have to work with them, but we don't have to love them. That's a good way.
Yeah, keep it professional.
So if you look back on the 5 years that we have recorded, and let me just calculate. You said you started with 14, so it's 8 years for you. What would be your 3 highlights if you look back for that, for all the years?
I think was it June 2019? I did a tour of Japan and Australia,
Mhm.
and I think that was one of my highlights. I loved Australia so much, and I'd love to be able to go back. I think just like the friends I've met through wrestling. I'd say that's a highlight, and the travelling. Obviously, the matches are great, but I think really I remember the experiences and the travelling with my friends and the people you
Mhm.
meet, opposed to, well, this match was good and I won this championship. I like to look at it more of, oh, I met this person here and we had a great time here, and I'll keep those memories with me forever.
It's really cool. Such experiences to get something like this.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
And if you think back, what was your? Can you name one favorite match? Looking back the whole time.
I think one of the matches that stands out is me and Pete Dunne against the Besties at Fight Club when we won the Pro Wrestling Revolver
Mm-hmm.
Tag Championships, because it was so unexpected and it was the first time we tagged and we weren't sure if it was going to work, because obviously I trained with Pete, and it was just natural chemistry, and I think the crowd loved it, and when we won, the reaction was incredible, and I'll never ever forget that moment because I was so nervous before, but it paid off.
Just try to remember, have you two met it in NXT UK as well, or was he already with the main roster at this time?
No, he was already gone by the time
Okay.
I was at NXT UK.
That's a pity. Perhaps it
I
would
know
be a nice time again.
it would. I'm sure it will happen one day if it's meant to be.
So we just talked about the past. We've talked a little bit about the present. What about the future? Where will you go in the near future? What you already can tell us?
Well, as I said, I'd like to go back to Japan, and hopefully I'll be able to do that before the end of the year. And again, I've got loads of friends in Australia. Obviously, Charlie Evans lives back over there now.
Mhm.
So I'd love to be able to do some Medusa complex tag stuff with her
Mhm.
over in Australia, and then maybe America. I don't know. I just like traveling, like getting around. So
Yes.
we'll see.
So if you like traveling, come back to Germany. We would like to see you there.
But yeah, I'm back in Germany in October, and I think December as well.
Like you
So
said, with Wrestling Cult, the
yes,
shows. Huh? And
yes,
you will have some shows with Progress, if I've read it right on their page.
yeah. I'm wrestling for Progress on uh, the day after I'm in Germany, in Manchester,
Ah, okay.
and then this Sunday, in Birmingham, which is just up the road. So that'll be fun.
Ah, okay. So there's a lot of Millie McKenzie that we can see.
Yes,
Looking
I'll be
forward.
around somewhere.
Is there someone you would say you would like to face? Someone special that it's in your mind. You just think about it.
Hmm. Um. I'd like to wrestle Amari again. I know I've already mentioned it, but because
Hmm.
obviously I've been able to wrestle uh intergender matches, I haven't been able to wrestle boys. So I would like to be able to do that again because I love it. So yeah, I'll wrestle anyone really. It's just all wrestling and hanging around with the people that I haven't been able to for so long. So I'll wrestle anyone.
So if I understand right, you like intergender wrestling.
Yeah, I just think it's all wrestling, isn't it? I don't like even calling it intergender wrestling. Really, I know that is what it is, but it's just, to me, I've always trained with boys. It's just wrestling.
Yeah.
Whether I'm a girl or a boy, I'm a wrestler, and you're a wrestler, so let's wrestle. It's that simple.
That's great. In WWE, they using intergender wrestling since the Corona time, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And so I got a little bit more familiar with it. The time before, I didn't really know if I can get it because not always it seems to fit. But like you said before, if there are two wrestlers that both know we just want to wrestle each other, it can
Yeah.
just click and you have a great match with intergender wrestling as well.
Yeah.
So let's get Millie McKenzie to 16 carat next year to be one part of it.
Yes, to win.
Yeah, as well. Why not?
Yeah, we'll see. I'll try. I'll lose in the first round, but oh well.
But if you're still there for the whole weekend, it would be great. So
Yes.
that's not the problem.
Yeah, it'd be good.
It was great to talk to you. It was a great time to have you here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And you are welcome back anytime if you have to tell us something more about when you are going to Japan and wrestle for Stardom or someone else. We can talk again.
Thank you.
So I wish you a nice time and yeah, nice shows and stay healthy. That's really important.
Thank you. And you. Take care.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye.